knows how you come across somebody once in a while you shouldn't have messed with. That's me.
I am not an African American.
You're Oreo cookie, white in the inside and black on the outside.
I don't have an afro, I have an Amerifro.
Talking that idiotic stuff you talk about, I will slap you.
Go ahead, make my day.
Black as the ace of spades, but 100% American.
Heard around the world by everybody and their mama. The Jesse Lee Peterson Radio Show.
Rebuilding the family by rebuilding the man. We're also uniting the races with truth instead of dividing them with lies. I am Jesse Lee Peterson. Welcome to the show. Thank you so much for being with me. I absolutely appreciate it. 888-7753-773. 888-77-JESSE. You can go to my Facebook fan page. Thank you for being a friend, by the way. Facebook.com/Jesse Lee Peterson. And the number 1, click like. My Twitter handle is @JLP Talk. Go to bondinfo.org or bondaction.org. Patrick Rooney is here behind the headlines. Last night, winners and losers.
First of all, great debate, I thought. I think it was the best one so far. I like the fact that the crowd was conservative and they cheered in their good spots. All that was good. I think the winners is hard to say one, but I thought Rick Santorum was very good. Senator Rick Santorum. He had a great comment on education.
Let's play that. I want you to hear what Rick said about education. Let's go to C there.
Senator Santorum. Yeah, 20 years ago, the federal contribution to education was 3%. It's not 11%, and our schools are doing worse. And it's exactly what Gary Johnson just said. It's because the federal governments are meddling. The bottom line problem with education is that the education system doesn't serve the customer of the education system. And who's the customer? The parents. Because it's the parents' responsibility to educate the children.
Yeah, I mean, right on. And that was a great point. He also had a back and forth with Perry, and that was about immigration and something. I thought he did very good. He had a lot of good points, and I think he stood out more than in any other debate so far. Mm-hmm. My only quibble with him is that he's not acting quite presidential.
Thank you.
He's a senator. And maybe because he's a senator, not a governor or someone who actually has had, because when you're a senator, you just got to come in and vote on bills and then get people together and get committees and things. I'm not saying it's a nothing job, but it's not the same as being a governor or a president.
Right.
And he acts in a way like he's off to the side, even when he's in the middle.
He sure does.
And he's kind of like throwing rocks. He gets a little frustrated, like he thinks he's not included.
Yeah, he wants more attention.
Which he isn't being because he's not one of the front runners. But I don't see president in him at this point, although if you really push me, I like him probably better than any other candidate just because I like his character. Now, other winners.
Let me ask you. Oh, go ahead.
Herman Cain.
Yeah,
very strong.
Herman did
very
good
strong performance from Herman Cain. I think he helped himself probably more than almost anyone last night.
He talked about his cancer and Obamacare, and I thought he made a really good point. He generated a whole lot of sympathy from the world when he made that point. I want the folks, my audience, to hear Herman Cain on his cancer and Obamacare.
If we had been on the Obamacare and a bureaucrat was trying to tell me when I could get that CAT scan, that would have delayed my treatment. My surgeons and doctors have told me that because I was able to get the treatment as fast as I could based upon my timetable and not the government's timetable, that's what saved my life, because I only had a 30% chance of survival. And now I'm here 5 years cancer-free because I could do it on my timetable and not on a bureaucrat's timetable.
I think that's going to stick in the hearts and minds of everybody.
Absolutely.
Including liberals and Democrats.
That's a tough one. I mean, how about slapping Obamacare down with a guy who's a cancer survivor, who's on the stage and can speak well? He knocked it out of the park.
No, he did. Yeah, that was powerful.
So he was great.
He was a winner.
He was a winner for sure. I always like Newt Gingrich in these things. And we talk about different phases of a person. I like his answers, and you could say, well, he gets angry or whatever. He does. And I don't mean to shoo that away.
Right, yeah.
But in terms of thinking on your feet in a debate, nobody matches Newt Gingrich. I mean, this guy says things that are right to the point. They're intelligent. They hit hard.
He's real good at what he does, but even in these debates, it's like he is there but not there too. Now, this may be part of the media play in that they don't really show him a lot in the debates.
Again, I don't call him necessarily presidential. Great guy to have in your cabinet.
Yeah.
Again, as we said before, make this guy a press secretary. He'll just wipe the floor with the press. Great.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
There is a Newt Gingrich quote in there.
Yeah. Let's go, because of time here. Let's go to that one.
Speaker Gingrich, every day the federal government takes in about $6 billion, but spends about 10. Right? So we borrow 40 cents of every dollar we spend. Now, I understand that you believe that if we modernize the federal government, then it'll help a lot. It'll save billions. But given the resistance that we've seen in Washington, the seeming intractable resistance we've seen in Washington to spending cuts, how can you possibly slash spending by 40%? How can you do it?
Well, the way you described the question, you can't.
So that's it. I mean, stick a fork in us.
If you assume Washington remains the way Washington is right now, it's all hopeless. We might as well buy Greek bonds and go down together.
How do you get us past that?
I love that.
No, you're right.
You know, although I will say, because of time, what you have to look for in these debates is not necessarily how smart they sound, but what is their character? How do you think they're really going to act when they get in the Oval Office?
That's what people want now, too. American people want that. Open Line Friday, 888-7753-773. We're going to get to your calls when we come back from this break. The GOP presidential debate last night, hosted by Fox News and Google down in Florida. You know, one thing I thought was really funny when Mitt Romney said that the only title that he wanted to hear about Obama is formal president.
Yeah.
That was pretty funny.
I like it.
We got plenty of questions for all the other candidates up here tonight, but I want to stick with you on this one, Governor Romney. Congresswoman Bachmann has said that President Obama has, quote, ushered in socialism during his first term. Governor Perry says that this administration is, quote, hell-bent toward taking America toward a socialist country. When Speaker Gingrich was asked if he believes President Obama is a socialist, he responded, quote, sure, of course he is. Do you, Governor Romney? Do you, Governor Romney, believe that President Obama is a socialist?
Let me tell you the title that I want to hear said about President Obama. And that is former President Barack Obama. That's the title I want to hear. And let me tell you this. What President Obama is a big spending liberal. And he takes his political inspiration from Europe and from the socialist Democrats in Europe. Guess what? Europe isn't working in Europe. It's not going to work here.
That is funny. Obama's out of there, by the way.
That quote to me, Jesse, kind of tells, in a way, everything you need to know about Mitt Romney, good and the bad.
Yeah.
He's a very good debater, and let's face it, he's very polished and he's very good. And I like a lot of what he says in terms of policy. That statement he just made there, even though it was funny, you know, the answer is yes, he is a socialist, and here's why. But Mitt Romney won't, he kind of stops short. He won't go this is why when Perry got into the race, Governor Perry from Texas, Perry immediately shot out to this big lead. And the reason is people were hungering for somebody who would just tell it like it is.
Yeah.
Not mince any words. Mitt Romney is
That's a very good point.
Mitt Romney is so careful the way he presents. And Perry nailed him on this during the debate really well, I thought, in a point where he said that which Mitt Romney are we going to get? He's flip-flopped on the Second Amendment, according to Perry. Roe v. Wade, that I know. I've seen that on tape. When you flip-flop on Roe v. Wade on abortion, that's the most fundamental thing you can flip-flop on just to be elected. That tells me all I need to know about a person. So that's the problem with Romney. He's saying all the right things now, but you have to look back. It's like when you look at Obama. He can say whatever he wants in a speech, but we know how he's governed.
That's right.
And we know Mitt Romney has been a governor. We know the way he's governed. I'm not saying he was a horrible governor. From what I understand, he was a pretty decent governor. But let's face it, he has waffled on many issues that's very disconcerting to me.
Yeah, it is.
A lot of people. This has been the Jesse Lee Peterson Radio Show, produced by Bond Action. To purchase individual shows or special packages, or to make a donation, visit us on the web at bondaction.org, call 1-877-932-2877, or write to us at P.O. Box 35586, Los Angeles, California, 90035.